What's going on, guys? Today we are installing the Dobinsons 4x4 Snorkel kit on our Toyota Tundra. A lot of people get intimidated on these installs just based on the fact that you have to cut into your fender and drill into your fender and do all that stuff, but I'm going to make this video and show you guys that it's not hard, anybody can do it, and we'll knock it out. So I'm going to go through what the kit came with, what tools we're going to need, what you need to buy to complete the installation, and then we'll hop right into it. So let's do it. So here is what the kit comes with. Obviously we have our snorkel, we have the head that goes on top of the snorkel, we have a adapter hose. So this goes to the bottom of the snorkel, runs through your fender and connects to your airbox. That's very important and getting a perfect fit, because that's how you're going to keep it watertight and airtight. And then we have a template, so it's going to go something like that, and you're basically going to tape this onto your fender and then mark all your holes onto your fender before you start cutting and drilling. So that's important to keep that in one piece. Make sure it doesn't get torn when you open the box or something, because that'll ruin your whole installation. We have our instructions right here, a bunch of hardware, hose clamps, and the L bracket to mount the snorkel to your pillar on the front of your vehicle. But I'm not going to be using that. I have never had any issues in my 4Runner, and I've had that snorkel on there for about 4 years, and I did not install this because I did not want to drill into my pillar. So I'm a firm believer that you do not need these, but I'll still show you how it mounts on it and everything when I'm doing the installation, but I'm not going to be using that. Then as far as tools go, I have a drill with a step bit and then a small starter bit. Have my angle grinder to cut the big hole in the fender, some safety glasses, masking tape to mount the template onto the fender. Then I have some RTV silicone that I'm going to be running around the adapter to the airbox to make sure that everything is watertight. And then I have some basic sockets, hand tools, and then a file. I'm going to be using this file to file down my airbox to fit the adapter, and then I'm going to be using it to smooth out the hole that we cut with the angle grinder as well. And then I got a Sharpie to mark all the holes on the template. But that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I got a little head start on taking my airbox off, but I didn't take it out completely, so I can show you how it needs to be done. So you have one 10mm bolt right here, and then another 10mm bolt on this side right there. That's what's actually holding your airbox onto your inner fender. And then you need to unplug your mass airflow sensor. It's just this one little plug right here. You just squeeze it and pull it up. And then it has this little clip that mounts the wiring into there. You just pop that out. And then this is a hose clamp that mounts into your intake. It's just a 10mm. Just loosen that up, and then everything's ready to pull out. And then once you get your airbox off, you're going to want to take off your inner fender liner as well. These are all 10mm, and there's a few clips that are impossible to get out. They're probably going to break. I broke all mine, but it's not a big deal. So you need to take this off, because later on we're going to need to reach under here to tighten up all the nuts and bolts that mount the actual snorkel to the fender. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do before we start mounting the template to the truck is I'm just going to double check everything and make sure all these holes line up, because that would suck if Dobinsons or whoever you order your snorkel from sent you the wrong template, and you'd be screwed. So yeah, that looks perfect. Cool. So it looks like there's two holes right here and right here. I don't know why exactly, but I'm gonna mark the ones that line up with the hole, with the threaded holes on the snorkel. You can see there's two holes right here, 1, 2, and the bigger one is the one that lines up with the threads. So that's gonna help. That way I don't drill too many extra holes. I don't know why there's two holes. That's weird. There we go. All right, cool. Let's go get the template mounted to the truck and then we'll start cutting. So I got the template on. Pretty sure this is about as good as it's gonna get. Line up the top of the template with the top of the fender, and then this backside lines up right at the back of the fender. And I looked at the instructions, I put the snorkel up to it, I checked if everything lined up correctly, and it did. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my Sharpie, I'm gonna start marking my holes, and then we will get to cutting. All right, so all the holes are marked, everything's ready to go. I'm gonna start with a little small drill bit just to get a hole started, and then I'm gonna take the template off and I'm gonna use a step bit to bore out those holes. The instructions say to 16 millimeters. I don't even know what that is, but I'm just gonna make them big enough to where the studs that they came with fit through. So let's knock that out real fast. Ooh, it's a weird feeling, man. Whew, all right. So we got our starter holes drilled out. Now I'm gonna take the template off. Whenever you do this, make sure you don't tear up your template when you take it off, just because you never know if you're going to need to reuse this for any reason. All right, so here are the little studs that go into your snorkel, and these are what go through the holes in the fender. And basically all I'm gonna do is use a step bit to size up these to where these go in, you know, kind of snug. But the good thing about a step bit is you can make it a little bit bigger if you need to when you're doing the install, because sometimes on these they don't line up perfect, so you might have to bore out a couple holes to give it a little wiggle room. So I'm gonna bore these out real quick and then we'll start on cutting that big boy. On top of the toolbox. On top of the toolbox by the orange fan over there.
Why did you keep it over here?
I was gonna put nuts and bolts and stuff into it.
Well, I need it.
Okay. Okay, so drilling out to 3/8 seems to be the size that we need. That's 3/8 right there, and it goes in perfect. But like I said, I might have to do it a little bit bigger after we line everything up. All right, we got all of our holes drilled out now, and now it's time to make the big cut. So like I said before, I'm just using my angle grinder. This is the easiest way to do it. Just follow it along. Just take your time and it'll go smooth. This is some really thin metal that these fenders are made out of, so it's super easy to cut. So let's knock it out real quick. Let me go get my safety glasses. That way you guys don't trip out on that in this video. All right, we're ready. Got it. Oh, I think I'm gonna keep that. That's pretty cool. So this is where the file is gonna come into play. As you can see, it's all burred up. I'm just gonna use the file, that flat file that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and kind of smooth these edges out. And that way I don't have to worry about cutting myself whenever I'm running the hose through there. Okay, now that we got everything cut on the fender, what I'm doing is I'm just putting in these little studs. They're double threaded with a little Allen head fitment right there on one end. So you got to make sure that that end is facing inside the fender, because you're gonna have to put them in like so, hand tight, and then kind of just give them a little torque with an Allen wrench. And that is how we're going to bolt on the Snorkel to the fender. So I already got all these on. Let's go see if everything lines up. Hopefully it does. I don't feel like boring anything out or anything like that. So hopefully it goes on first try. But that's why we use step bits with the drill, because if it doesn't go on, all you got to do is bore out that, you know, that hole for whichever stud doesn't fit in there more, and it gives it a little bit more wiggle room. So let's go throw it on real fast. Come on. Oh, shoot. First try. Holy cow. Dang. We got it lined up. Everything looks good. This is the first time I've ever done a snorkel, and it's actually gone in the first try without having to bore stuff out and cut more or anything like that. That is awesome. Okay. So now we're going to start working on the airbox. We got to cut some tabs off the airbox to run the rubber connector through the fender to it. So we'll get back in the garage and knock that out real fast. Then we'll bolt everything together, and I think that's it. All right, guys, so we got our airbox now, and I'm going to show you, let's see. This is the factory breathing connector deal that goes through the fender. And as you can see, it's just open, and that sticks in the fender like so. And you need to take this off to connect this. So once you take that off, there's a tab right here, one on this side. We need to cut those and file them and get them flush with the rest of the body of the outlet. That way this can fit on there flush, and you can put a hose clamp on it and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get this done, then we'll mount this to the Snorkel, put the Snorkel on the fender, connect this to this, put that back in the truck, bolt it down, connect the mass airflow, and we're ready to do some freaking water crossings. Let's do it. Okay, so I got all those tabs cut and broken off. Now I'm going to take the file to them and get them all flush and deburr everything, so it's ready for some silicone and that tube. All right, so I got all the nuts and bolts that came with the kit to mount to the fender, and I'm just going to put all these on hand tight now. And then once I get these on kind of hand tight, I'm going to finish connecting the adapter hose through the fender wall to the Snorkel itself. A lot of people put the adapter hose on the Snorkel and then put the Snorkel in, and I tried that, and there is no way in hell that I was going to do that. So I'm going to put the Snorkel on hand tight, and then I'm going to run the adapter hose. I already got it right here, but I'm going to make sure that I have all these holes lined up and everything bolted on before I put the hose clamp on the connector. So I'm going to get these on real quick, and then we'll work on getting that adapter put through the fender and everything connected to the airbox. All right, guys, we got all the nuts put on the inside of the fender. And check it out. Look at that fitment. This thing fits in there super nice. It's nice and flush. It goes along the curves of the fender perfect. It's awesome. So now what I'm working on is the hose that comes through and connects to the airbox, that L adapter that I showed you, the big rubber one. So I need to get it more snug onto the Snorkel. It's on there now, but I got a couple of maybe about an inch that I need to push it in more, and then I'm going to put that hose clamp on it, and then I'll clamp it on to the airbox, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. But it's looking good. I put the head on too. The head is just, it's kind of like snaps into place, and then you got a hose clamp right there. Make sure you save the black hose clamp for the head, because if you don't, then you're gonna have a silver one on there and it's gonna look tacky. So black hose clamp on the head, 2 silver hose clamps on the Airbox adapter. All right guys, we got everything done. Now let's check it out. So got the Airbox bolted back on, those 2 10mm bolts that I showed you at the beginning of the video. Mass airflow's plugged in, wires are clipped in. We got the Snorkel connected to the Airbox like it should be. Hose clamp is super tight. I don't know if y'all can see, but I did put a layer of the silicone around it to make it even more watertight. And I already put on my fender liner, so I can't show you the underside, but it's clamped onto the Snorkel, and it's got silicone as well. But one thing that I just realized that I forgot to show you guys was the L bracket that mounts to the A-pillar. So let me show you really quick. This L bracket mounts to your A-pillar and then bolts to the Snorkel like so. You drill these 3 holes into your A-pillar, and then the kit comes with like these little rivets. You pop those into your A-pillar, and then you just put these little 2 bolts through right there into these threaded holes in the bottom of the Snorkel, just like that. But like I said before, I'm not running it like that. I didn't want to drill into my A-pillar, but this is on there. I mean, I'm freaking shaking it as hard as I can. It's not moving. So there it is, nice and flush. It looks great. All right guys, that is it for today's video. I'm all done. Snorkel's on, everything's tightened up, got everything airtight, and the Tundra is ready to rock and roll. So if I missed anything in this video, or if you guys have any questions, if you watch my video and you're trying to install a Snorkel yourself, just comment below, and I'll be glad to help you out as much as I possibly can. I'm no professional at installing this type of stuff, but if there's any way that I can help, I'll be glad to. So yeah, other than that guys, pretty straightforward, easy, everything lined up, template was perfect. Dobinsons makes a great kit, and that's all I got for you guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, if this video helped you in any way, throw a like on this video, and I guess we'll be seeing y'all next time. Peace out.